right. So Alien Frontiers. If you like Diceworks replacement games, this is one for the books. This is a good one. Not my favorite one. My favorite's still Euphoria, but I'm not going to promote it right now because we're playing this one. Okay, so these are colonies, these little domes. Geez, mine blend right in. That's going to be fun to do that. I should have played the green one. And if you don't mind Sue being our scorekeeper, since the scoreboard's right next to you, it's gonna I don't know if you remember this the last time we played this, but the score fluctuates constantly until the end of the game. But we need 7 of these colonies. So if your tuck box has 9, I think you'll want to take 2 and put them back in the box. Yeah. The game is the length of the game is determined by these colonies. When one of us places the last colony, then the game ends, and we'll tally up our final points, make sure that we're accurate with our points, and see who is the winner. We have this lovely planet, which might be Mars, who knows, I don't know. It doesn't really say what planet it is, it's out there. But all of the regions on the planet are named after, famous sci-fi writers. So we've got the Asimov Crater, the Herbert Valley, Lum Badlands, Highland Plains. It's pretty cool. Bradbury Plateau. We have our relic die up there in the Burroughs Desert. And then we have our ships. Now, normally our ships, when you set up the game, you're supposed to put them here, but in the first turn you take them out anyway, so I didn't bother. But normally our ships will kind of start here or in other locations. At the end of each turn, we'll pull them back. But we start out with 3 ships, which are dice. And so that's pretty fun. And we're going to see who gets this, what we get for who's going to be the first player. And the second and third player will start out with a little bit of resources that are extra because it makes up for the fact that the first players will be able to hog up some of these spaces. And in the game, we're playing a 3-player game. And when you play a 3-player game, some of the areas do get covered up, so we will still be able to shut each other out if we need to. So if you notice, that's why there's this kind of weird space. It's actually a token covering up the location. And if you notice, there's a few of those out there. So it will still be pretty cutthroat, which makes this game fun. So let's roll a die. Actually, let's use the D20. Leslie is the globy one. Stick with tradition. Ooh.
Nice.
That's what happens when you stick with tradition.
No, I see how it is.
She doesn't trust.
Because you gotta go clockwise.
I see. Oh, alright, so I get nothing. You will start with 1 fuel, and you will start with 1 ore.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the ore. If you are playing a 4-player game, I'm just going to bring this up for folks who are watching who might be interested in playing a 4-player game. If you're playing a 4-player game, what would happen is I would get nothing. Aaron would get a fuel. Whoever the 3rd player is would get an ore, and then Sue would get a fuel and an ore because the last player needs to be able to get something. So the point of this game is we're going to put colonies out here, and it's a resource management game, an exploration game is essentially what it is. We're going to try to earn points by getting colonies out there. We're going to use alien tech. These alien tech cards give us abilities. They also can sometimes score us points. There are some tech cards that if you have them, like there's a monument. If you have that monument, you get bonus points. And that sort of thing. And I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think the monument could be taken away. But essentially, here's how you score points. You score points by each time you place or for each of your colony tokens on a territory, you get a point. So this is how we can track and make sure we did it right at the end. If you control a territory, and what that means is if you have more of these than anybody else who control that territory, that will give you a bonus point. If somebody else then takes control of that territory, you would lose a point. That's why our points are going to fluctuate up and down. You'll never lose a colony, per se, I don't think. So once those are out there, those points are permanent. I don't know what expansions might do, but for the version that we're playing, once they're out there, but you can lose your bonus points if somebody else takes control. When you gain control of a territory by having the most colonies in an area, you also get to take this. This gives you an idea of what is also on here. So if I take it, you don't necessarily have to stare at this. You can look here. And it will tell you advance your colony 1 extra level each turn, which you dock more than 1 ship. So that's a really nice thing to have because it takes quite a few turns to launch a colony. So you will get these bonus abilities if you control those territories. So that's another nice thing to have. If you have the Alien City card, which is one of the Alien Tech cards, that gives you a point. If you have the Alien Monument card. Did you start with the Alien City card? Nice. If you get the Alien Monument card, does anybody start with that?
No.
You'll get a point for that.
But that is out in play.
Oh, it is. Wow, did I do a great job shuffling my butt? Holy cow. I did not stack this deck. I did not realize that. Wow. And then if you control the territory with the positron field, which is this green doodad thing, we obviously haven't placed it yet, but eventually it'll get up there. If you control that territory, you get a point for that. I believe the positron field also gives you benefits. It's an alien tech card. These also give you benefits. We've got the repulsion field and the isolation field. They do things as well. And what we'll do is, put these out and still have these to refer to what they're called. So, what you're going to do at the start of each turn, we're going to gather and roll our fleet. So, we might as well roll our dice now. But normally we pull them off the board from where we place them, and then we're going to roll them. And that determines what we're able to do. Now, mine might be hard to see. Let me see. I guess if I put them here. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You can see what my amounts are. I'll keep them separate from the other dice. But yeah, perfect. And so these, obviously, you need certain designations to play in some areas, and some areas you don't. It will tell you, if it's just a question mark, that means you can place a die of any value, but some of them, if you notice, do have actual values, like to use the terraforming station, you need a 6. Over there, 1 or 2 gets you certain amounts, 3 and 4 gets you 2 fuel, 5 and 6 gets you 3 fuel. And then some, you'll need, like for example, the alien artifact. You can put dice there of any value to wipe all the cards off. But if you dock more than 1 die there, you need the value of at least 8. Yeah. And then you get to take a card. The cool thing about that, I'm going to talk about the alien artifact real quick, is you can dock your dice individually. You don't have to put them in there at the same time. So you can put a die there and be like, I don't like anything that's out there. You can wipe the board, put new cards, and if you still don't like what's out there, when you place your second die, you can wipe them again. Yeah. So just be aware of that. And if you notice, there's only 4 spots there, so it's hard to get multiple alien cards unless you get really great rolls. But it is possible to do it. If you place a value of 8 there, it doesn't count for your next placement. So whatever die you put there starts from scratch. So if you are trying to get 2 cards in 1 turn, you want like 4 6s or something to do it. Or 2 6s and 2 2s, or you have, what I mean. So essentially we gather and roll our fleet. That's the start of each turn. And then afterwards, starting with Sue, we're going to assign our fleet and use the alien tech cards. You can use the alien tech cards at any time during your turn. Now, most cards have a this or this. You have a constant bonus, which can be used at any time during your turn. And then you have a discard bonus. Now, the discard, obviously you discard the card to get the bonus, but just be aware there is one limit. You can only use 1 discard effect during your turn. So if you have multiple alien tech cards with discard abilities, and you want to use 2 of them, you can technically have to pick 1 to use. But the other ones, like if I have 4 cards, I can use the top ability on each one of those cards during my turn, if it's appropriate to do so, and I can get use out of it. Yes.
I get a bonus fuel.
Who gets bonus fuel? Oh, for yours? Yeah.
Because I have more even ships.
Oh, cool. Easy enough.
I have nothing but even ships.
Good point. But yeah, so just be aware during your turn, you can use the top part on any number of cards. The discard ability, you can only choose 1 of those to use. You check the card and get the ability. We're obviously going to need to read our ability so folks will know what we have. And before we start, we'll also read what's on the deck. Okay. So that viewers will know what's there, because honestly all they see is glowing white cards because of our daylight lamps. It's just a nova. Oh. So you're going to place all of your ships, wherever you want to go. So it's not like some of those games where you place one, then I do one. You get to, because you're first player, you get to place. I mean, I'm first player.
Yeah,
so
it's like, why do you keep saying I'm
first?
I
don't know why. I was like, starting with me, so I'll place all of my ships, and then Aaron will place all of his, and then Sue will place all of hers. And then once all the ships are docked, and you've used any alien tech cards that you want to use, your turn's over. Leave your ships as they are, because they are going to block other people, and then we'll keep going. Again, scoring at the end. Last person to place their colony ship. So I'm going to talk about what the different locations do. And we're going to start with the alien artifact. We just talked about that, so that one we don't have to talk about again. The other one I want to talk about is the colonist hub, which is down here. These are called orbital facilities. With the colonist hub, if you notice, there's 4 advancement tracks. Well, 3 for us because there's 3 players. You can only use 1 track at a time. So if I put a die here, that's the track I'm going to be using. I'm not going to use any of the other ones. What you do, each ship you dock can be of any value. It doesn't matter what the number is. But what it's going to do is it's going to move a colony to the point where you can then launch that colony. Each die that you place, the first die you place will put your colony in the first location. And then each die you place thereafter will move it up 1 slot. So if you notice, it's going to take multiple turns for us to do this. And then once it gets here, it can launch. You do not have to launch it, but it's there. It's ready to be launched. So your first ship docked requires you to place 1 of your unplayed colonies, and then it'll just sit there. So if it's here and my turn is over, when I take my dice, it doesn't move back. It just sits there until I place more, push it a little bit further. Excuse me. Once it gets here, you can launch it at any time for your convenience by paying 1 fuel and 1 ore, which does show you here.
Okay.
And you can place it anywhere on the planet. There's no real limitation. You just pick which region you want to put it in. Don't make that choice lightly, because once it's there forever. And then now you cannot start another colony on the advancement track until this one's launched. Okay. So once it's on a region, then you can start building another one. So even though it takes multiple turns, if you don't have the materials to launch it, essentially, even though there's space here, your facility is occupied by a fully built colony, but you have to get it out of there so that you now have room to start constructing your next colony. Does that make sense? Make sure I put that there so that we don't mess up my numbers. Now, if you earn more advances that are needed to move your colony, which they're like the Asimov Crater has a thing, which we talked about, where you get to move multiple. If that happens, you can use the excess to begin work on a new colony. So if let's say I place my die I'm here, and I have this, and I can move 2 or whatever. I place enough die to be able to move 2. There's my 1, and I can now place 1 here as my 2, as long as I'm able to launch this thing.
As long as you're able to launch it. But
if you can't launch it, then you lose the extra. But if you are able to launch it, you get that out there. You can, however many extra you have, and I think there's some tech cards that will let you do this as well, but like it's a one-time thing. So just bear in mind, you don't lose them unless you can't launch. So let's say, for example, I was ready to, I was here and I got 3 bonus, which I don't think there's a 3, but let's say there is. There'd be 1, I'd launch, and I could go up to 2 on the next one. You don't lose them unless you can't launch. Your final colony is not locked. So let's say this is my 7th colony, and we want to place it. It has to be placed out here to end the game. It's not locked. So if I have it in the hub, and then I get like the terraforming station, or something gives me the ability to use the terraforming station, which is up there. If you notice, you place a 6 die there, and you can pretty much launch a colony just straight. Or I use the colony constructor, or I move the colony. I get a thing that lets me just move 1 from the hub. If it's your last one, you can take it out of the hub and put it out there if you have the means to use one of these other locations. Okay. If you have 2 left, sorry, it stays there. Even if this opens up and you're able to use it, it doesn't matter. You use the one for the one back here. But your last one is not locked in there forever. And then we have the colony constructor, which is right here. What you do is you dock 3 ships of the same value. So if I have 3 2s, I can put it in here. The likelihood of getting 3 of the same value is difficult, but it can happen. Yeah. And that gives you a way to get colonies out there even faster. You spend 3 ore and you launch them. So you're essentially building it right on the planet, is what you're doing.
And Terraformer's just making it habitable, which is why it's an instant launch.
Exactly. Yep. And then the lunar mine is each time you dock a ship here, it must be equal to or greater than the highest value ship that's already there. So if somebody places a 6 there, you're screwed unless you have a 6. And then you gain 1 ore for each ship that you dock there. And, excuse me. And that's it. I mean, you just get the ore. You can dock multiple ships if you have the ability to. Like, I could technically dock 3 ships there if I wanted to, because my numbers are so different. And then you have the maintenance bay, which is right there. If you can't dock a ship legally, like there's nowhere to put it, you always have to place all of your ships somewhere on the board. So if you can't place it anywhere else, you put it in the maintenance bay. Okay. Any ships purchased through the shipyard also go to the maintenance bay first. So you don't get to use them right away. It's kind of like a deck builder in a way.
Yeah.
You get the die, it goes here, and then your next turn you're going to take it. So it essentially is being built for you in the maintenance bay. Now, a ship on the maintenance bay cannot be moved with an alien tech card. So some will let you move around. You cannot move from the maintenance bay.
So you can't use the orbital...
No, I can't. Even if
Okay.
I have the fuel. Because it's essentially being worked on.
Yeah. Okay. I was looking at that. I'm like,
No, I will not be able to cheat. Now, ships removed from the facilities with the plasma cannon or bumped from the Raiders' outpost are placed on the maintenance bay until your next turn. So it's kind of like losing a turn with that ship. Unless you've already used it, who cares, right? So there's that. Then there's the orbital market, which is up top somewhere. Oh, we're up there. Excuse me. You have to dock 2 ships of equal value or use... to use the orbital market. If there are not enough docking ports to accommodate 2 pairs of ships... actually, I think there's only... Well, for us, there's only one.
Yeah.
Now, while you're docked there, you can pay a fuel equal to the value of one of your docked ships to receive 1 ore. So if this is all locked up, you could kind of do it from orbit, essentially. But it's expensive because you're blasting it with lasers and whatnot, and then collecting the stuff from space. And you can trade as many times as you want in your turn if you have the capability of doing so.
Yep.
So it's possible, like, maybe because several turns you can't get the ore because it's blocked out and you're just hoarding a bunch of fuel, then it's worth it.
Yeah.
Also, there is a limitation to how much resources you can have in front of you at any time.
Oh, okay.
You can have 8 combined resources, so, of any amount. You can have 6 fuel and 2 ore. But if you gain more resources, you must discard down immediately, and you can pick whatever resources.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, but you always... It's just a way for us to prevent us from running out of resources.
Yeah. And to prevent someone from being like, now no one can ever launch a space station.
This is Monopoly, not Alien Frontiers. I own everything. Yeah. What will you do for me?
Like, if you have no fuel, you can't launch your colonies, I win.
Yep. So, yeah, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
There's many ways to shut people out in this game, and that is not one of them. And it kind of makes sense. You have limited space. You're in space. You can't just have, like, crap tons of stuff. Be nice, but no. And then there's the Raiders outpost, which is kind of on the side there. You dock a set of 3 sequentially numbered ships. So you can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4. To use the Raiders outpost. There are there's only enough for 1 set of 3. I think. Yes. So if the Raiders outpost is occupied either by your own ships or by ships of another player. You can dock a higher value sequence here and move the original ships to the maintenance bay. So if they have 1, 2, 3 and you have like 4, 5, 6, you can be like, maintenance bay, I want them. So you can do that. It's kind of funny when you think about it. And then while you're there, you can steal a total of 4 resources from any mix of players or 1 alien tech card of your choice from 1 player. If you steal an alien tech card that you already have, the stolen card is discarded immediately and you do not get benefits from doing it. That's the other limit to alien tech cards. You may only have 1 of the same type. So if you notice there is another orbital teleporter out there, I may not buy it because I already have 1. I can't just buy it and discard it. But if you steal it, that's a different thing. I can steal it from someone and then just discard it because I can't use it. So you can be super mean, or you can... It's going to be mean either way, but, you know... you can take it to keep it, or you can take it to throw it away. It's a mean space. Then we have the shipyard, which is less mean. You put 2 ships of equal value, so up to 2 players are going to be able to do this a turn. 2 ships of equal value to use the shipyard. Now, in addition to docking your ships there, you have to be able to pay what the cost is for what you're going to be doing here. If you cannot pay a cost, by the way, to come to one of these locations, you may not put your die there and just be like, well, I can't do anything, so it's just sitting there. You can't shut people out unless you actually can pay the costs in the die value.
No loitering.
There's no loitering. So, now here's how it works. It sort of kind of explains it. To get your 4th ship, you dock 2 ships and you pay 1 fuel and 1 ore. Then you have 4 ships. Once you have 4 ships, to get your 5th ship, it's 2 fuel and 2 ore. And to get your last ship, it's 3 fuel and 3 ore. So that's fun. It's very expensive to get all of them. You take a ship from here and just put it in the maintenance bay until the next turn, in which case you'll draw it, and all things will be good. And then we have the solar converter, which is way up at the top, and that's You place it's one die at a time, but you put a die down there and you get fuel. So it's based on the value of that die. So if I place a 1, I get 1 fuel. If I place a 2,
You get 1 fuel.
you can put them at any value. It doesn't have to be in sequential order. So if I have 3 1s, I can place 3 1s and get 3 fuel. If I have a 1 and a 6, I can place both and get 4 fuel. And just keep in mind the limitations for how much fuel that you're allowed to have.
Mm-hmm.
Not fuel, I'm sorry, resources. And then I think the only one we haven't talked about is the terraforming station, right?
Yep.
The terraforming station, you put 1 die, value of 6, and you pay 1 fuel and 1 ore. There's only 1 docking port, so if somebody's there, that's it. It lets you land one of your unplaced colonies on a territory immediately. And here's the thing. The ship is completely consumed by the colony creation and is returned to the ship stock at the beginning of your next turn. You destroy a ship to colonize.
Oh, yeah.
That's why it's invisible. Like, see how it's kind of grayed out?
Mm-hmm.
You put it there and it's like... Basically, it takes the colony down to the planet. So the ship's not technically destroyed, it's just on the planet now. It's landed, it's not coming back. You cannot use the terraforming station if doing so would reduce your fleet to 3 ships or less. I'm sorry, fewer than 3.
Yeah. So
you can't go
can't
lower than you're starting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't do it with my 6.
Yeah, I was looking at that. Now, a ship docked at the terraforming station may be removed by the plasma cannon card, but may not be moved to another orbital facility. So if it gets removed, it just bounces to the maintenance bay. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I think it's still in a... Maybe removed by the plasma cannon, maybe moved to another orbital facility. Huh. Let me think.
Oh,
because it's... Ooh.
Oh, so you can't use your orbital teleporter to move your ship after you commit it to deconstruction.
Yeah, but what you can do... Oh, it can't be new... Okay, so I see what it's saying.
Yeah.
You can use the plasma cannon to blow somebody away so you can still use it.
Yeah.
It just doesn't go to maintenance bay. It's still going to get destroyed.
Yeah.
So I guess just take it off the board. And you can do that with your own ships. If you want to do it twice, and you have enough ships to do so, and you have the plasma cannon, you could place it, blow it up with the plasma cannon, place your other one. They both get destroyed, but as long as you're not going below your 3, it won't matter.
Oh, and the colony still goes down.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because the ship doesn't get destroyed until the beginning of your next turn. So when we roll our dice, that ship gets destroyed instead of getting rolled.
So essentially, there's a husk here, and if
Yes.
someone blows it away with the plasma cannon,
yes,
it makes room for... Okay.
Yeah. So if somebody else wants to sit there, they can blow it off the board
Yeah.
and put their own ship there to be destroyed.
But you couldn't use your orbital teleporter to move it after it's been...
No, you need to use you literally have to destroy it with the
blow it
plasma
away,
cannon. But if you have the plasma cannon, it gives you a way of doing it twice in a
Yes.
turn. So that's pretty cool. And then let's just talk about that's all of the locations.
And actually, you can't use a plasma cannon on yourself. It's
Oh,
other
does it
players.
say it? Okay.
Because we have it on the board.
Oh, okay. So real quick, let's talk about what the bonus is for each of these locations. Asimov Crater. Advance your colony 1 extra level each turn on which you dock more than 1 ship at the colonist hub.
Mm-hmm.
Then we've got the Bradbury Plateau. Pay 1 ore less than normal when you use the colony constructor. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
We've got Van Vo Mountains. The first ship you dock at the lunar mine each turn may be of any value. Cool.
Okay.
So you can go lower if you needed to, which would help other people if you only dock 1. Then the Burroughs Desert. Purchase the relic ship, which is this little bad boy, for 1 fuel and 1 ore on your turn. Return the ship immediately if you lose control of this territory. So it gives you an extra ship.
Yeah.
Want to do the top ones for me?
The foothills is pay 1 less fuel than normal on each alien tech card you use.
Nice.
The plains is your trading ratio is always 1 fuel for 1 metal or for 1 ore when you use the orbital market.
Ooh, that's nice.
Batlands is you take an extra fuel for each ship you dock at the solar converter. And the valley is pay 1 less fuel and ore less than the normal when using the shipyard to build new ships.
Nice. And then let's see what's in our alien tech.
The alien tech is the plasma cannon. Pay 1 fuel per ship to remove other players' ships from an orbital facility to the maintenance bay. Or discard to return any single ship to the shipyard stock.
Whoa.
Target player must have 4 more ships in play.
Okay. So it's like Euphoria again. You never lose your starting.
Yes. Orbital teleporter. Pay 2 fuel to reuse one of your ships at a different orbital facility.
Sweet.
Or discard to move any colony to a different territory. Doesn't have to be yours. Any.
That's a nice one.
And then Alien Monument. Gain 1 victory point while you possess this card.
Huh. Wow. Okay. And then,
I have the resource cache. Sort odd and even ships after each roll. If I have more even ships, get a fuel. If I have more odd ships, get an ore. If I have equal of both, I get 1 ore and 1 fuel, but I destroy the card.
oh, jeez.
I have the Alien City. Gain 1 victory point while you possess this card.
And I have the orbital teleporter, which we just talked about. So nice. I think we're ready to get started.
Yep.
We've got all of our stuff. We know what we're doing ish. Well, we know what we want to do. Okay, so. What do I want to do?
No transformation station.
Alright, so I'm going to go here to start building. And then I'm going to put that up in the solar converter so I can get 2 fuel.
Yep.
And I'm going to go, yeah, here's some ore.
Are you going to immediately use your teleporter?
Hmm.
Or are you saving your fuel?
I think I'm going to use the teleporter. I just need to know where I want to go. Sorry.
You use the teleporter to immediately get 3 fuel?
Well, I was thinking about that. I was actually thinking about that. Or... Nope, that's exactly what I'm going to do.
So I'm just essentially going to give you just 1 more fuel.
Thank you.
Because
slide the die up there.
it makes no sense for me to take your fuel and then give it back.
That's true. Alright, so what will you be doing? Something, I'm sure. Oh, you're mean.
Yep. I saw that coming.
Yeah.
If I had a third 2, I would have used it too. But I don't.
I'll put that up there.
To the fuel?
Yes.
I would if I could, but I can't, so I won't.
And then I also probably should turn this. I'll have this open to the different locations in case we forget that.
Now, if I roll properly, I can use the terraforming station.
I can do 2 here, right?
Yes,
You can.
Yep, and then you would put that up 2 spaces. But it's so dumb that that's in the middle like that, so I'm just gonna cheat.
Yeah, I
with
mean,
this
it
because
doesn't
why?
matter.
It's they put it on the top. They should have put them on the bottom.
Yeah, they should have put them on the bottom.
Like 3, 2, and then
And that's everyone.
sweet. Turn 1 is over. We got our stuff back. May I have my 2 blues from the top? Thank you. 2 1s and a 6.
Yes. And... Well, this is gone.
What just happened?
I have eaten them both.
Ah,
But I get 1 fuel and 1 ore.
that was quick.
But means I don't have to worry about anything now.
Yep, that's true.
Unless, of course, you well,
No, I can't use it.
are you the first player pass it along? Or
Nope,
you,
it's still. I still start first.
so, well, you could use it technically. Oh no, you can't. You don't
No,
have
I
a.
can't
You don't
use
have
it.
the ship. Yep.
Nope, I'm not going to though. I'm going to do this,
I'm not going to be blocked.
which is 1 ore and 1 fuel,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Oh.
Right.
Mm.
Oh.
I'm gonna do this again. I'm gonna take an ore.
No one gets
and then I'm gonna
ore.
use that. No, I'm
Oh, yeah.
using the thingy.
Yeah.
So just 1 fuel, please. Thank you.
Oh yeah, and it's very nice to do it that way.
If I can scare somebody from the. Oh.
Is that all? I mean, really? Okay. So.
And he gets a point.
go up by 1.
He actually gets 2 points.
Oh yeah, 2
You
because
get
I'm
one for
control.
placing a colony and one for having the most.
Yellow.
Yep, I'm yellow. Now this is still considered my 4th ship, even though it's okay. So next turn.
Yeah, it's at the beginning of the turn. Instead of
Yep.
rolling it, you just throw it away. Well, you kind of put it in
Oh,
here.
actually, this is great. I'm gonna do this, and since it's 1 less. Actually, no. Actually, I don't want to do that because it's just gonna be free next turn.
Mm.
So actually, what I will do is this,
Mm-hmm.
and this.
There you go. Have some resources.
Yes. This is saying if I roll properly to actually get a new ship next time.
Yeah.
That's my turn. I'll be back. I'll always be back.
So I can do that.
Yes, you can.
And move that 2 more in.
Why not? Get it set up for a launch. Okay, so let me get our stuff. The ship dies. Oh, thank you. I was gonna go for this. It's like, take your stuff. Wow. Oh my goodness. That is...
So first player doesn't pass. It's always
Yeah.
the same.
Yeah, that's why they start you guys with different resources than like first player starts with no resources, and it just continues. Actually, let me make sure. Yeah, I don't think it does because there's no token. Yeah, it doesn't change. Oh, that's tempting. That's super tempting.
I wish I rolled that,
I know, it's awesome.
but I rolled something better.
Alright, I'm
Not
gonna
better, but-
place... Okay, 1 fuel. I have to figure out what order I'm doing this in to decide where I'm gonna place this colony. Sorry.
That's fine.
Because if I do it that way... Yes. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. Alright. Oops, do this backwards. Place a colony right here.
Mm-hmm.
So I will get 2 points. And then... How mean do I want to be? I'm not gonna be able to build a ship unless I roll a 5 on this, but first I do this, putting it back, giving you this.
Actually, you don't get the roll. It goes immediately to shipyard.
Hmm? Oh, it does? Oh, yep, it does. Sorry.
So I mean, unless you want to change that.
I might want to, actually, because there's another thing where I can put 2 of the same value. Which one is it? Is it the...
Orbiting station.
Mm,
Or orbital market.
Don't
Which,
do
yeah, no.
that.
That'd be 5 fuel for one ore.
Nope. But then again, though... Ooh, actually, wait a minute. I don't want to do that. I want to leave that exactly the way it is.
Okay.
Because... Then I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
And then use this to get 3 fuel. Thank you. I can be nicer, actually, if you guys want me to.
Oh, that's fine.
Well,
You don't block me from anything.
I didn't think you were going to buy any.
Well, I think we have enough
Actually,
stockpile.
nothing I would have
Yeah.
done would have helped you. So,
I think we have enough stockpile where
Alright.
it's not affecting either
How
one.
does
of us.
the artifact thing work again?
the-
You have to have a total of 8 to buy one.
Any die value can wipe everything that's there,
Yeah.
though, so...
Yeah, if you want to just place your 2 here, you could get rid of all the things and no one could get the alien monument unless we burn through the entire deck.
Yep.
Anyway.
I'm getting free ship.
Wow. Really? Oh.
I reduced the cost by 1 of 1.
Oh, gee, wow.
That's why I refused to pay anything last time.
That's right.
I'm like,
You're like,
I can get a free one. I think I'll get a free one. And, what do I want to do with this?